Now remember his opening question. He said, why on earth are religious people so focused on abortion? And by religious people, he means conservative Christians who vote Republican. And what's his answer? Not that we have an argument for our view, but rather our roots are in racism. And how does he come to that conclusion? He says, well, religious people didn't care about abortion. Conservative Southern religious people, even the Southern Baptist, didn't care about abortion in 1978 or before 1978. Before then, they were passing resolutions affirming a woman's right to choose, as he put it. He says that after the Brown versus Board of Education decision, the Supreme Court decision in 1954, which he says wrongly forbids parents from segregating their kids from children of other races. Actually, what the decision said is that public schools could not segregate children based on race or color of skin, which is good. That's right. I agree with that. But it did not say that you as a parent couldn't put your kid in a private school if you felt that fit your worldview better, or even if you did want to avoid other races, which I would argue is not a good motivation. But the law did not say you couldn't put your kid in a public school. The minister is wrong here. Rather, it said public schools could not discriminate on the basis of skin color. Now, what's interesting is he goes on to say that really what this is all about is racism. You have white parents that at one time could be rallied to get out the vote for conservative candidates, allegedly, because you could play the segregation card. But allegedly, when under the Nixon administration, that became illegal, then they needed a new issue. And so, voila, abortion pops up. We'll make that the issue, said the conservatives, according to this pastor, Caleb Lines. And that what really happened is abortion just became a way for conservatives to practice racism. They could no longer use segregation directly because it was being declared illegal, but they could hide behind their alleged pro-life beliefs and make that their alleged issue when really what their agenda was to promote segregation. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and just look at this for a moment. Let's assume the good pastor here is absolutely right. We are all a bunch of racist. We're terrible people. We're probably misogynists too. But we only oppose abortion because we need it to kind of, give us cover for our real agenda, which is segregation, a racist agenda. Now, that's what the pastor wants you to believe. Now, I'm going to suggest you don't go after him, at least initially, on his facts. We'll get there in just a minute. But the first thing I want to do is say, okay, dude, you're right. We're all a bunch of racists. We're all misogynists. We're whatever you say we are. How does that refute our argument that abortion intentionally kills an innocent human being? You remember our pro-life argument, right? Premise 1, it's wrong to intentionally kill an innocent human being. Premise 2, abortion intentionally kills an innocent human being. Conclusion, therefore, abortion is wrong. Now, that argument stands or falls on its merits, not the motivations or the behavior of the people advancing the argument. So even if it were true that those who oppose abortion were all racist, they were all misogynists, they were all people who hated anybody but the pure white race, even if that were true, bad people can still make good arguments. And you'll note the pastor here does nothing to refute that formal pro-life argument we just went over. All he does instead is attack the alleged motives of those who oppose abortion.